In this demonstration, we'll see how real-time analytics is ultimately exposed to the end user and how they benefit from the best offer recommendation. Now, this is the third video in a set of three. In the last video, we explored how business logic can be utilized in order to determine best offer along with utilizing real-time analytics to present that offer to the user. In this demo, we'll explore how the user is actually presented with that best offer. Now, what I have on the screen in front of me here is a template of a callout which outlines best offer information. So you'll see all the information on the screen or within this callout is non-specific. It just is a template of a callout. What we'll see in a minute in the demonstration is how all of that information is dynamically populated based on that best offer process and then presented to the user. So I'm going to pull up my demo here, and what you'll see is, as a user, I am on Siebel CRM, and I have different account information in here. I can log activities in here, etc., typical of a standard CRM. Now, what we're going to see is, let's assume that I've just taken a call from a customer, and in this case, it's going to be the account A. Delphin Nancy. And we'll say that it's Mr. Paul Delphin calling in this morning, so I'll select him as the contact. And ultimately, I'm going to log an inbound call within the Siebel CRM system. So what you see based on the call description is that Paul is calling in to check to see if a payment has recently been received. Now, what you don't see happening in the background is that real-time arbitration process of determining the best offer and then presenting that best offer to the user. So in this case, if you had seen the second video, you would have been familiar with the process of going out to check the billing application. If the billing application wasn't open, Igloo would open it and gather some information. So that can actually be represented here by this 3270 terminal emulator. This application was not opened at the start of my process, but during the process, Igloo has opened this application and pulled some of the important information out of it, such as what products this person already owns. And we're going to use that information, if you remember, to filter down our available offers list. Now back to the call itself, you'll see we had this template up in the designer. You'll see how all of that information was populated into this callout based on the business logic, based on what's relevant for this particular offer. Now, based on the business logic, we've determined what the best offer is. Now we're presenting it to the user along with all of the relevant information and resources for that person to successfully sell this best offer recommendation. What I want to look at very quickly is something we use just for our demonstrations, but the ability to sort of take a look at that live data behind the scenes. And that's in the form of what we call these business rules callouts. So this isn't something that a typical user would have access to. But again, it lets us see what that offer list is comprised of and also what's actually going on behind the scenes. So I've pulled up a callout here called relevant offers. And this is essentially showing us that relevant offer list that we explored in the previous videos, as well as all the data attached to those offers. So each offer, as we had mentioned, will have a propensity attached to it. So that's the output of that real-time analytic model, that PMML file, which we imported from our analytics system. So you see each offer has a number there. Then we also have a promotion value, which if you remember, we took from that database, which is acting as our offer catalog or our list of available offers. And then we also have the value, this is actually the revenue that we've taken from that database as well. So that real-time score, if you remember the process in the second video, is basically each of these three values multiplied by each other, and that's going to give us our real-time score. And you'll see that in this table, the top scoring offer based on that real-time scoring process is the 750 anytime minutes. So that's the offer that's being selected to be presented within the callout. Now in the callout itself, I had mentioned information is presented to the user. The first step here, you'll see that some information taken from that 3270 screen is displayed within the callout, so the user doesn't actually have to go out to that system to obtain that data. The second section, you'll see we're providing a script. Essentially, the idea is to provide that person with all of the relevant information and links to the relevant resources in order to successfully sell, in this case, 750 anytime minutes. You'll see if I select that more info link, what will happen is we're going to bring up, in this case, a web page. It could be any type of resource, knowledge base article, Word document, PDF document, where that information exists. So the goal is to get that person to that resource quickly and efficiently, and don't let them waste time searching and navigating various different applications. At the bottom is a very important section. So you'll see we're prompting the user if they to ask if they attempted that offer. And this is valuable information for us to use in the future. So I can say, yes, I attempted that offer. And let's assume for a second that the person did not accept that offer. So I'll select declined. We then have the ability to put in a reason, if we can, and submit that information. Now, if you remember back to that filtering process of these offers, now we can take this information into account the next time this person calls in. So if Paul calls in 2 days from now, we know that he was presented with 750 anytime minutes, and we're going to make sure that that's not included in our relevant offers list because he's already said no to it for the reason he'll tell us now. So that's the process of how this information or how that real-time scoring process is exposed to the user. From my perspective as an end user, I'm just performing my day-to-day tasks within the Siebel CRM, and I'm being presented the output of that entire real-time arbitration process, which in this case is the 750 anytime minutes offer.